Today's big story, Penny Arcade releases on the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness, Episode 2, for all platforms.
So it's been about it's been about a year now since the first episode of On the Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness, Episode 1 has been released.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less than a year. It's a very cool title from the folks at Penny Arcade, penny-arcade.com.
We reviewed it on Castablasta, Season 1.
We did, and we actually interviewed one of the heads of development over at Hothead Games.
Yep.
Who is the company behind the project itself. Very cool dude. We interviewed him on the Linux Action Show. I can't remember what episode number, but it's in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the sequel's hitting. They always meant for this to be episodic in content.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the Sam & Max games. You can get the Sam & Max adventures. I believe they're up to like the third or fourth episode now. And this is kind of the same thing, where Sam & Max is your traditional 2D kind of comedy, silly adventure, adults only with a cartoon dog and rabbit game.
Right.
This is more your 2D, silly, child-friendly looking cartoon
Kind of has a steampunk feel to it, you know?
Yeah, it's supposed to
like
take place in the 1920s in a town called New Arcadia. And it's for those of you who read Penny Arcade fairly regularly, it's inspired by the characters from Penny Arcade, but not really. You know, it kind of takes some of the imagery, some of the design styles, and the irreverent humor, and goes from there. But basically, it's very similar to a Final Fantasy series of games. It's you move around on a 2D map. It's an adventure. There's puzzles. There's lots and lots and lots of dialogue. But it's funny dialogue, so it's happy dialogue.
Right.
And the combat is very traditional RPG, turn-based, you know, old style. Select the person you're going to fight, and you jump across the screen and whack them.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. It kind of scratched an itch that I think a lot of people have been needing to be scratched. But the very cool part about this game, besides the fact that it's just kind of fun looking, it kind of got a cartoon style to it. It's very much meant for adults. Is that the developers release it for all three of the major platforms simultaneously, Windows, Mac, and Linux, as well as Xbox Live Arcade. Yeah. So pretty much no matter what your poison of choice is for gaming, you can play this game, and that's very cool. It's pretty reasonably priced. You can go check it out at playgreenhouse.com, which is kind of a project that the Penny Arcade guys are involved with. And they have other games there as well, also for Windows, Mac, and Linux. It's very much like just a little indie online publishing house for multiple platforms.
That's
very
cool.
very cool stuff that they're doing in there. A lot of the stuff that they've got going on is available for everything. You know, obviously, if you're a Windows guy, everything is for Windows. But otherwise, it's pretty good just the same. So with the news story, basically it continues. And one of the cool things that they're doing here is not only is it episodic in that the story continues, but you can actually bring your character between games. So if you created a character and you played episode 1, or you pick up episode 1 now, your same character can be brought forward and continue to grow and get more items and that sort of thing, and whack people with your hoe, which is the weapon of choice in the game. It really, really is. So it's very cool. It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So supposedly, and you know, we've yet to be able to review this because it is out today. But we'll get a good review of it going on. But according to the guys who made it, it's better than the first one.
And you know, it's not very much money. It's like $15 too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I believe it is. $14.95 for episode 1.
And they they plan to continue to release the episodic events.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's one of those games you can play for a while, and it's not a very long game. You relax for a bit, and they release a new version.
Yeah, about 10 hours of playtime, from what I can tell. And bear in mind, it is rated M for mature. So, you know, only give it to your kids for them to play if you're a cool parent. So, you know, go.
Right. If you're the cool dad or mom.
If you're the cool dad, and if you've been recently divorced and you're trying to be cooler than your ex-wife, this would be the game to try and get your kid to play.
Right.
So again, Penny Arcade, Rain-Slick Precipice of Darkness, Episode 2, out for every platform on the planet except for the old Amigas, because nothing is out for an old Amiga.
Or the I don't think it's on the PlayStation either. The PS3.
The PS3 with the PlayStation Network, no, because nothing's out for that really either. So
Yeah.
what can you do? I mean, yeah, yeah.
I think I'm probably gonna play it on the 360 myself.
I'm gonna play it. I don't know. I don't know. 360s are great, but my 360 died. It
I
red
know.
ring.
I
So I'll
know.
probably grab the Linux version.
Yeah, there you go.
Good times. Good times to be had by all.
All right. Rain Slick Precipice of Darkness, Episode 2 by Penny Arcade. That's today's big story.